that kind of sucked. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about my reaction, I guess, as you guys can tell by the title, but I'm going to be talking about my reaction to the final race of the 2016 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season. It I don't even know. So if you guys did not watch the race, Jimmie Johnson won his 7th championship, and that's great. I guess I'm happy for him. My brother's a Jimmie Johnson fan, so I'm not mad about that. What I am mad about, though, I'm not mad, I'm just salty about it, is Carl Edwards, like, with 11, it was like 11 laps to go. So they restarted. Carl Edwards just kind of lost it. We'll talk about the end in a second, though. I want to talk about like, the whole race and everything leading up to. Why does my camera keep stay at one brightness, please? Thank you. Okay. We'll talk about the end of the race in a second. I just kind of want to talk about everything that happened up to the point of the just. So, start of the race, everything was fine. You know, Carl Edwards he started 10th, made his way up. He had a really strong car. He ended up being, you know, in the top 5 all day. Top like 3 even. He was in the top like 3, you know, 1 and 2 all day. Didn't have anything go wrong. You know, had a couple slow pit stops, but he was leading the points all day. He was ahead of Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, and Jimmie Johnson. Jimmie Johnson was all the way in the back pretty much all day. He was like 10th all day. Like, Carl Edwards had, I swear, this was like the best race. Like, he said it. He was like, that was the race of my life. Like, that was the best race he's had. Like, okay, I feel bad saying it's the best race he's had because he lost, but like, it was one of the best races he had. He had a great car, great pit crew. You know, everything just kind of worked for him. He loves running out the track. He ran good there. You know, he even passed Kyle Larson. You know, some people might say Kyle Larson had the best car. Kyle Larson did get passed by Carl Edwards, you know, 1 or 2 times. Kyle Larson ended up going back around him, though. I think a couple times also because of pit crews. But, like, Carl Edwards easily could have won the race and the championship. It's just, it didn't happen. And it's a real bummer it didn't happen because, like, he was so close. He had the best car. He easily would have won this. He was, oh my gosh. Do not get me started on that last caution. Not the one that Carl was in. The one before that. Oh my gosh. He had the best car. He was out front. It was fine. Everything was good. He would have won the championship. He had Kyle Busch or Joey Logano, whoever was behind him. He had him beat. But no. NASCAR. Don't even get me started on NASCAR. I am triggered at NASCAR. NASCAR, if you guys do not know, they throw some questionable cautions, I would say, about every race. And the last one was definitely a questionable caution. The one before Carl Edwards' wreck. What are you doing? That second to last caution. I don't know who it was. Some, you know, 38, 34, 69, I don't care. Some car that was not doing good has never done good. They easily could have made it back to pit road with that flat tire. You know, I don't get why they had to call a caution on that. There was no debris on the track. Everything was fine. All they had to do was just let him go back to pit road. Everything would have been fine. Like, even on the Ryan Blaney caution, like the first caution of the race, he got up in the wall. He scraped the wall, like, I don't know, like through half a corner at least, but like there was no debris anywhere. He was still fine. He was driving. He didn't spin out. He didn't cause a problem for any other racers out there. Like, and the Ricky Stenhouse Jr. caution, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They waited forever to call that caution. They were thinking about it. They're like, you know what? He just spun out, hit the wall. There's probably a lot of debris down there. And he has to drive back, which could, you know, he could lose some more debris. Let's just wait it out and see, you know, if we really need a caution on this. Really? If you really need a caution? How about on the last one where there was just a car with a, you know, blown tire and he was just riding down. You know, yeah, I get it. The tire could come apart and cause, you know, a caution. But if it does, then that's a caution. Then there's debris on the track. Then there needs to be a caution. But why are you doing the things you do? Why are you, NASCAR, why are you the way you are? Like, I love the sport. I love watching NASCAR races. I go to a NASCAR race each year. I went to 2 this year. It's just, I don't know. Like, NASCAR just always throws some dumb, like, debris caution where they don't show the debris, or the debris like this big and it's a piece of, you know, paper. Like, okay, sometimes I get it. There's like some sheet metal on the track. There's, you know, a big chunk of rubber. But I really don't think that's going to affect if it's all the way like at the top of the track. This may sound biased just because I'm a Carl Edwards fan and I wanted him to win. But, you know, just like, I don't know. It's just dumb how NASCAR throws some cautions sometimes. Some of them are very questionable. I saw a YouTube video the other day, like NASCAR's questionable cautions, or like most suspicious like cautions. And like that video just summarizes this video. I'll probably put in the link in the description, because like NASCAR just has some sketchy cautions. Like they always try to, you know, bunch them up, you know, go, you know, green, white, checkered at the end of the race, you know, have like 5 laps to go, have one more crazy restart to try to get a wreck, to add some more drama. They're always trying to do something to spice up numbers and to like improve their ratings and just like the drama throughout the season. Like, you don't really need to do that in NASCAR. Like, yeah, it does make it more exciting, but when drivers are getting just taken out, I don't mean that as Joey Logano took Carl Edwards out, but when drivers are getting their championship hopes just ripped away from them because of a caution that did not need to happen, it's stupid. This doesn't just happen. This hasn't just happened to Carl Edwards. Like, even when they had the old point system, like, this happened. Like, some drivers, you know, they were like up front. They needed to win the race, you know, to like get some more points to, you know, make them get into the chase, and there was a caution, and that like screwed them up. Like, this isn't the only time it's happened. NASCAR just they just like to organize the races. You know, they make them so people always, you know, have a good finish to watch. You know, sometimes there's those like super boring races like Pocono or like, I don't know, Kansas, where they're like 17 cars on the lead lap and everyone's just going around, you know, for 50 laps or like 100 laps constantly. And, you know, that's, you know, sometimes they'll throw a caution then. Like, sometimes cautions do come out, you know, I get it. Sometimes a car hits the wall, you know, there's debris everywhere. He's like slow on the track. He's not, you know, down on the apron. Like, I get that. But it's just sometimes it doesn't make sense. So after that caution, they restarted, 11 to go, and it just went downhill from there. Like, it was just awful. Carl Edwards, I'm gonna make this clear right off the bat. So if I do say anything that sounds contradicting or like I'm blaming someone, it's not. Joey Logano did not wreck Carl Edwards. I agree that, gosh, what am I trying to say? Joey Logano could have lifted, and Carl Edwards could have not pushed him down so far. Okay, Jimmy Johnson did the same thing to Brad Keselowski, which was right behind Joey and Carl. So Jimmy Johnson kind of pushed Brad Keselowski down. But Jimmy ended up going up the track, and Brad was still kind of down there. I think that's what Carl Edwards should have done in this situation, because he did not need to go that far down. I don't know if it was just because, you know, it was just, you know, everything was happening too fast. He's like, I can't let him get around me. I gotta protect as much as I can. You know, he said in an interview, like, I felt him down there, and I thought if I could just hold him a little bit longer, like, there might be a chance, but it was just too late. He was already there, and Joey just didn't turn left enough. Because, I mean, either way, both of those drivers would have had a terrible entry into turn 1, and I think there was, like, Kyle Busch on the outside or Jimmy Johnson. Like, they probably would have went around both of them anyways, because they would have had a terrible entry into turn 1. And I don't think Carl's block all the way down there was necessary. I think he should have, you know, came up a little bit. Obviously, you have to block for that because it's the championship race. Like, you have to block. Like, if you don't, Joey would have run around, and I don't know about won it, but because Carl did have a better car, so I think Carl might have been able to let him go around and maybe catch back up to him, because there was 11 laps to go. So I think Carl easily could have made that up, because he did, you know, he closed down on a couple cars. Like, he passed Joey Logano, he passed Kyle Busch, you know, he got up to Kyle Larson. So I think Carl did definitely have the car to win the race and the championship, you know, just by driving. But it was just an unfortunate situation that he had to get wrecked. Like, it's not Joey Logano's fault, you know. People probably think that, you know, some Carl Edwards fans might say, yo, it's Joey Logano's fault. He should have lifted, like, 100%, like, he dumped Carl Edwards. You know, that's what my dad was saying last night. But I'm like, he didn't really dump him. You know, Carl kept going down. And, you know, once two cars pretty much get together, they're, like, pretty much hooked together. And it takes, like, a big, you know, turn to, like, get them off of each other. So it's not the easiest thing to just kind of turn the wheel a little bit and get that separation. But Carl should have definitely turned up a little bit more just to give himself a better entry into turn one and also not get wrecked. But they went down a long way. Like, they were almost at the wall when Carl got wrecked. So I don't know. You know, what Carl Edwards did after the race, or after he got wrecked, is why I'm a fan of his, and why, you know, I will always be a fan of his. He, I don't know if you guys saw it, but he went up to the 22 pit box. I don't know if he apologized. I don't think he did, because it was just like a racing incident. But he went up to the 22 pit box. He said, you know, he was like, it's a racing incident, you know, didn't want to end up like that, but it just did. Go get him. Like, he, you know, I don't know who Joey's crew chief is, but he told, like, their whole crew, he was like, you know, go get him. You know, he walked down the pit box and then, you know, high-fived and, you know, said go get him to, you know, Joey's pit crew. Like, it's just he's just the, like, classiest driver in NASCAR. Like, yes, he did have that little mishap with Brad Keselowski a while ago, but, you know, he was right. So I've been just rambling on about this for a while, but it's just kind of, it's just how I feel, you know. This is the day after the race. Initially, I was very mad. I was like, I raged a little bit. Whoa, 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 Tanner, you don't have to stab his car. He didn't wreck him. Yeah, about that. I did kind of try to stab that kid. I don't know, man. It's just an unfortunate situation for them to be in. You know, I'm not throwing any hate at Joey or any Joey fans. Like, if you guys are Carl Edwards fans or just fans in general, like, realize what happened. Like, it was 50-50 on what happened. Joey could have let up. Carl could have moved up. Like, it's just a racing thing that happens, you know? It's, you know, unfortunate, but, you know, Carl Edwards will move on, and he will make it back, you know? His team will use this as motivation to make it back to the championship next year. So, yeah. I think I talked about everything I needed to talk about there. I've been talking for like 23 minutes straight, but yeah, I think I got everything off my chest and explained everything from a Carl Edwards fan perspective. So hopefully you guys, you know, agree with it. If you do have any other, like, anything I should have added, comment it down below, or anything like I should know or something. I don't know. If you have any other insight on this, you can comment it down below. Don't be rude, okay? You guys can be rude. Not really to me, but, like, in general. Like, ooh, gosh. Do not go to the Instagram comments or, like, Facebook comments. Ooh, some people are very mean out there. But I'm pretty sure that's all I have to say on this situation. Well, Carl Edwards will be back next year, and yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Been T. Criz. Deuces.